E aí, como você tá? Salve, Brasil. Today, we got another one in partnership with Sony Music Brazil. I want to give a big shout out to Sony Music Brazil and also a big shout out to Kimberly Dallier for helping to facilitate this partnership. Today, we have another reaction in order to highlight the catalog digitization project that Sony Music Brazil has going on right now. Now, this is very dope and very important to me specifically, but not just me, to the world and to the artists from Brazil, right? A lot of artists didn't have their work on digital platforms. Right now, they're in the process of digitizing a lot of these artists' catalog and getting it onto digital platforms. That's how we all are finding music a lot of times, right? Especially someone like me. Y'all all who are watching this pretty much know my story, right? So once again, we're reacting to Marcelo D2. As you can see by the background in the title of this video, this is my second time reacting to him. But not my second time hearing him. I forgot to mention this in my reaction to Eu Tiro e Onda, was that I know Planet Hemp and I've listened to Planet Hemp, but I didn't recognize everybody's voice at the time and all the members. I am going to do some reactions to Planet Hemp, but also I would like to, go back and listen to some of the records I've already heard in order to hear Marcelo D2 and get a little bit better understanding, because the title track to Eu Tiro e Onda was very interesting to me. For one, a feature from Shabazz the Disciple. Two, the video is in Brooklyn. Three, the beat was crazy. And four, the style that Marcelo D2 was using, I wasn't expecting on that. As I said, you don't really hear that style so much on what we consider boom bap. But his style that we heard there very much is used by a lot of artists today, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this one. We have another song off the album Eu Tiro e Onda, and this one is O Império. Hello. O Império Contra-Ataca. O Império Contra-Ataca. So lately, I don't know if many of y'all know this, but I got Portuguese classes, aula de português, twice a week. And, one thing that I'm noticing is I'm picking up on being able to read and understand and listen and understand better. So when I saw that, my first thought was The Empire Strikes Back. When I put it into the translator, it said The Empire Strikes Back. So this will be very interesting. The reason it will be interesting is usually with a title like that, you can, as the artist, it could just be individual, right? You could be going at your haters. You could be going at the system. You could be going, it could be a beef, or you could be talking about where you from, a group. But it's usually you going against either, a rival or something much bigger than you, right? And when you hear a title like that, you have to remember that when we refer to the empire, yes, we are talking about major overall empire, but a lot of times we're talking about ourselves, right? That sort of sleeping giant. You know what I mean? So we're going to see is he talking about big empire, or is he talking about, who we truly are, those of us from certain areas, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into this one. O Império Contra-Ataca. Let's go. Let's go and get this going. Empire Strikes Back. Comeu umas carnes. Okay. Atenção, terráqueos, leve ao seu líder. Aquele que conta a casa, teu salário. E
você fica parado, otário. Vou usar sua mente antes que você aposente. Não entendeu? Porque não é malandro. Puxo forte, prendo e no bicho eu vou levando. Mas por favor, doutor, não me leve pra cadeia. Fui pro lugar errado. Assine meu habeas corpus no local indicado. Minha família quer tudo como quem não quer nada. Black ele é parceiro, comigo nas paradas.
Mortais por detrás das grades da cela.
Oh, wait. Hold on. So recently I watched a documentary about Black Alien. And the thing that was funny is, you know, I've became a lot more aware of Brazilian music recently. And so I only knew Black Alien today, you know. So I'm watching the documentary, and for like 20 minutes of it, I didn't realize this was him. I was like, wait, oh, that's him? I didn't even realize it.
Botar na sequela, mas comigo tá tudo certo, tá tudo tranquilo. Como se eu tivesse dando um rolê descendo o Rio Nilo. Tentam me botar
Black ele é parceiro, comigo nas
pensamentos mortais por detrás das grades da cela. Detritos federais tentam me botar na sequela, mas comigo tá tudo certo, tá tudo tranquilo. Como se eu tivesse dando um rolê descendo o Rio Nilo. Ou o Rio Amazonas também. Eu sei que era neguinho, neném que nasceu lá em Belém. E o piaiô, me dá o microfone que eu derrubo um rei. Mayday. Eu tenho a pistola de ouro que nem Goldfinger. Eu mostro a minha rima, as mina mostra a sua ginga. Meu estilo é que nem os trapalhões, ciência acrobático. O mar gelado que te dá um choque anafilático. Quando nada com os tubarões, caça com os leões. Na capa de confrontation, confronto os dragões. Transforma o deserto em oásis, atravessa sem transpirar, somos uns dos ases. Das ruas eu tenho cartão de acesso, testemunho ocular da história como repórter esso. Eu nunca corri da Ku Klux Klan e nem dos alemão. Por que agora eu vou correr de um irmão? Que nem Pôncio Pilatos, sou filha da puta e lave as mãos. Que nem Galactus, devora os planetas de Marte a Plutão.
E o Bedegão tá aí? Então me ajuda no refrão.
O Império Contra-Ataca é o lado negro da força.
Wait. First off, it's a posse cut. And everybody knows that's one of my favorite things in hip hop, right? You could either have a crew, right? They come together and rap, or you could have a group, they come together and rap after they do their own solo stuff. But then you also have like-minded artists who are on the same scene, right? And then sometimes you have ones, I never thought they would ever be together, but posse cuts are dope. This seems like a posse cut more than anything because just based off of what I'm getting so far, it's a certain type of style. You know what I mean?
Da força, o Império Contra-Ataca é o lado negro da força. Eu sou um speed, na maior, sempre sagaz com problema, sem crise. Se para no ar, alguma dúvida, pense duas vezes com atenção redobrada pra começar a me esculachar. Eu já bandei mais de 15, parado vira alvo, tô desce correndo pra não levar tiro, mas vê se faço em zigue-zague, senão tô camisa branca de vermelho, o nego tinge. Parado vira alvo, por isso nunca vai me ver deitado, a salvo. Eu vivo sempre correndo risco e quando eu quero dar um trisco eu dou meu jeito. Só não pode ficar parado esperando tomar caroçada, é dito e feito. Espírito aqui pra te ensinar, pra te explicar, você presta atenção na lição. Já que sou moleque, sangue bom, começa a rimar com todo o respeito.
Eu entro no seu sonho como a estrela da morte, exploro os limites, destruo o indivíduo. Pesadelo contínuo me torna um homem mais forte, com destreza, coragem, os olhos no lugar. Numa fração de segundos, grande força hipnotiza a pessoa. De cabeça fraca, precisam se ligar. Nas ruas sozinhos todos temos nossos caminhos, ultrapassamos barreiras, aprendemos com isso. Duas picapes e tal, DJ manda festa, churrasco no quintal. A casa cai quando rola o som do Tim Maia.
Hold on, wait. So this song in particular goes along with the sort of concept of the album, I could tell. I haven't listened to it yet, but based off the last song and this song, I spoke about it in Il Chiro e Onda, where, you know, you take pride when you survive a certain area, because not only did you survive it, right? You're cognizant of that, but also you survived it based off of the culture, right? That's been cultivated. You feel me? So it's not just you. You're not unique if you come out of it. Others have come out of it. Others have survived. And the reason they have is because of a culture. And so not only do you take pride in the fact you made it, you have all these obstacles, but you also take pride in the fact that by you making it, you representing a lineage and you representing a community. And then on the other hand, you get to laugh at the haters, right? And the system and all those forces that are in place that you have to survive against, right? And so a lot of hip hop, if you just listen to it, a lot of people think, oh, they just saying stuff, right? I'll give you an example. If you listen to New York State of Mind by Nas, it sounds like he just dumping, spitting. But if you listen to it, this is like a day in a life type of deal where, everybody's trying to survive. And you got some people, they're on drugs. You got people on drugs trying to sell stuff. You got people stealing, killing, all sorts of things, right? But then you have somebody like that who was blessed enough to have a talent and then focus on that and utilize that art. And so it's all about sort of venerating those who made it and at the same time showing off, right? This is different than showing off like I got money, I got stuff to show you. People forget it's not like a lot of the artists nowadays, they get their money, they get their chains, they get their cars and all that. But back in the day, just being a rapper and not being in the street dead or being in the street strung out on drugs was a triumph. That was good enough. It didn't just have to be, oh, I got cars and stuff. You could rap about that, but everybody knew you knew Sugar Hill Gang didn't have a limo. They didn't, you know what I mean? But the fact that they made it out of where they came from, right? So you get that feeling from this song. And it seems from this project. Yeah.
Compre meu disco, vista a camisa, vá ao show. Revisão 800 e sinto flow. Eu entro em sua casa como um vírus letal. O cérebro é a arma, use o vocal. De um lado Zé Gonzalez, de outro Rodrigo Nuts. O melhor trio de DJ no Brasil, Dizzy Cuts. Eu continuo na luta, filho da puta.
Rapaz, isso é o que há. Isso é pra chamar. O tempo tá sinistro, não é difícil se estressar.
Hold on. The way
Use o vocal. De um lado Zé
the way
Gonzalez,
Big
de
Miguel
outro Rodrigo Nuts.
came on
O
there
melhor
is
trio de
crazy.
DJ no Brasil, Dizzy Cuts. Eu continuo na luta, filho da puta.
Rapaz, isso é o que há. Isso é pra chamar. O tempo tá sinistro, não é difícil se estressar. Eu sou Black, vulgo Benegão. Sangue bom de cu na sua cara, então segura, é pura pressão. Vou te dizer, vou te falar, compadre, que se passa nessa terra, olha o preço que tu vai se não se enquadra no padrão vigente. Te olham diferente, reticentes querem apagar a sua mente, por isso segura na pressão, meu irmão. Perdão na hora errada, compadre, não tem perdão. Sou soldado do funk, por isso não se espante quando eu der meu sangue por alguma coisa que eu leve fé. Foram muitas tempestades, mas eu ainda tô de pé como uma pedra pura. Minha verve de perfura e sua barreira se dissolve, vira poeira diluída no ar.
Não ri pra mim não, amigo, não sou dentista. Meus camaradas não tão de bigode na pista. Speed Freak!
Joga do meu pé, não adianta me tirando onda porque eu vou rir quando eu quiser. Então se liga, mané, que eu já me cansei de te explicar como é que é. Se logo quando amanhece fico de macaco.
Wait. He came off with that Chuck D style at the beginning. Did you hear that? Where you you say what you say, but that it kind of almost drags that last syllable to where it sounds booming. Like listen to how you come on the track.
Meus camaradas não tão de bigode na pista. Speed Freak!
Joga do meu pé, não adianta me tirando onda porque eu vou rir quando eu quiser. Então se liga, mané, que eu já me cansei de te explicar como é que é. Se logo quando amanhece fico de macaco. Sol queimando a minha cabeça, mas mesmo assim permaneço sentado, tranquilo em minha mesa, falando, gritando, com a voz potente como a de um trovão, doido pra vir onde quer que esteja.
O Império Contra-Ataca ao lado negro da força. O Império Contra-Ataca ao lado negro da força. O Império Contra-Ataca ao lado negro da força. O Império Contra-Ataca ao lado negro da força.
Techniques. Minha primeira professora de português, taught me a little bit about Tropicalia, right? Tropicalia? And one of the things she explained to me, shout out to her, was that, you know, at that time, they were attempting to form something, and what kind of came out of that was them pulling from different places. And in pulling from different places, while being Brazilian and utilizing their culture in the music, along with the modern sounds from around the world at the time, they created something uniquely Brazilian, right? And so when I listen to certain hip hop from Brazil, I get that same thing. Not to the extent, right, of Tropicalia, but what you get is, what's interesting is hip hop music, I would say it's unique. It's not alone in this, but it's unique in that rapping is not just rapping. There's a bunch that goes along with it. And part of that is expressing what your culture is, right? The reason you're doing that is, and the reason why some artists we deem as corny is because they're not talking about survival. They're not talking about existing. And so it seems weird when they just start rapping. It's like, oh, okay, you're just rapping, right? Like but when you listen to stuff like this, it, like I said, from what I get from these first two songs that I've reacted to, is that this music is an expression of how you got to this point. And you don't get to this point when you're from certain places, certain areas, by yourself. You don't get there just because you had something that others didn't have. No. You had what others had, right? And it's passed along, and there's a togetherness and a bond there. And so when I'm listening to this song, right, if let's say somebody who doesn't like hip hop music heard it, to them it would just be, right? That's how they feel about hip hop. But for us who know and love hip hop, we understand when they're talking about all these different instances, what you're getting from it is that I exist in spite of it, or I exist because of it. But no matter what, we exist, right? So I spoke about in the intro, well, when they say the empire, you know, it could be they're talking about an individual, but more than likely, you're talking about a group. And so to have this group of, like I said, like-minded individuals, it seems, all within this same culture, whether it's hip-hop culture or whether it's, you know, Brazilian culture, because they're all in this, and they do what they do, that expression by its nature is defiance. That's where the fear of hip hop comes from, and the dislike. A lot of people will try to, you know, talk bad about the art, but they do that a lot of times to hide their disdain for the message. And the message is, no matter what, we here. You got to deal with it, and this is a fight that continues, right? But here's the dopest thing about hip hop. We joyous the entire time, right? Listen, there's y'all know Future, right? A lot of people don't like him. They don't like trap music. Okay. But Future is blues music. All right? Future is blues, modern blues. But it sounds joyous to others. So to them, it just sounds like, oh, he's promoting the bad stuff and all that. It's like, no. This is how a lot of people exist and express. Now, when I watch this, I'm like, oh man, this is so interesting for me to see all these artists doing this. And then, because this is a very hip hop video, not how they dress, not the beat, what they talking about, what what the lyrics are, what they are showing, like The Empire Strikes Back, the dark side of the Force, right? Like, because you can talk, they're seen by their nature as being the opposite of good and what's right, the dark side of the Force, right? But no, we are who we are, and there's a reason that it influences everybody. Like, I talk about this all the time. Me being from the U.S., being born and raised where I'm from, I take pride in the fact that I'm from a place that created something like that is now spread to the world, and everybody can use it to express themselves. Right? Shout out to Kendrick. And so when I watch something like this, as I say, it's dope to me, but I also have a sense of pride. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But then let's talk about the beats. The 2 songs I reacted to, both the beats are dope. I asked somebody, do artists today or in the past, do they do freestyles on like mixtapes or songs and stuff like that over beats that are classic, right? In the US, usually if you were a new artist, the way it worked was you go up to whoever's the hottest radio station, they're going to put on a classic beat. Because the reason I'm thinking this, I'm like, man, these 2 beats that I've heard so far are something that I feel like would last forever. And it doesn't matter how much the style of spitting changes, you could ride on that, right? But yeah, I rocked with this one also. It was dope to see everybody's style. And what I like is there's moments where Marcelo de Dois, it sounds like spoken word. You know what I mean? And we got quite a few artists like that, right? But what I like about this was that everybody got the rock, everybody had their own style, and then, you know, just as a song, it's put together real well, right? So yeah, once again, looking forward to that digitization so we could get it onto the digital platforms. And yeah, you already know I'm gonna be rocking with it and reacting to more. Next song.